Hiya and welcome to SS Cooking. My name is Nibal Deng and welcome to the show. Now, before we start the show, I'd like to say a massive thank you to all our viewers. Those of you who checked our YouTube channel, who liked, who commented, and who even subscribed. We thank you so much. We wouldn't have got this far without your support and your encouragement. Now, as promised, we did say we will cook food suggested by our viewers. And one of you have suggested we cook bamia mufru. So today, that is what we're going to cook. Now, let's look at the ingredients we have before us. We have okra that's been cut from both ends, as you can see. We have dill. We have garlic powder. We have 5 cubes of seasoning. We have around roughly 250 grams of meat that's been diced and cubed. We're going to use around 3 cups of water for the cooking of the meat. We'll be using 2 onions that's been cut and chopped already, and we'll be using olive oil for the frying and a wooden spoon, as well as we'll be blending the okra. Okay, so now you want to put the heat on. You put it on high heat so that we can fry the onions. So you get some oil. Then now we're going to let it heat up so that when we pour the onions in, it will fry. Okay, so we're frying the onions now so that it can be a brown color, so that it can be cooked as well. This should take roughly around 3 minutes for it to be all brown if you're using high heat. So now it should be brown. We can add in the meat. So we just add in the meat like that. So as you can see, the meat is already cooking. The good thing when you cut the meat into cubes, small cubes, they cook much quicker. So now we're going to pour in the water. So that's 1. So that's 3 cups of water. And then we're now going to let the meat cook for 30 minutes. So we put the lid back on and let it cook. Okay, so let's check up on it. So now while the meat is cooking with the onions, we can add the bamia into it, the okra. So we just put it in like that, put all of it in. Then we're going to leave it cook with the meat and the onions for 15 minutes before we come back to it again. So we just put the lid back on and wait. Okay, time should be up. You can check on the mirror. Now as you can see, the okra is very soft, but we don't want it too soft that it's broken apart. So what we're going to do now, we're going to take the meat out of the pan so that it will be easier for us when we want to blend the okra. So you just grab the meat, put them on a separate plate, because you don't want to end up blending the meat as well. So I can't see any more meat in there. So it's ready to be blended now. Okay, so now we're going to blend it. Just open this up. Then now when we're blending it, we don't want to blend too much, but we want to blend just enough. Not too much so that the seeds and everything, it's just broken apart, but we still need that texture there of the okra. is just fine. So now we're going to pour it back into the pan and cook it with the meat. Okay, so we put the fire back on. You don't need to wash the pan, you can use the same pan, you just pour it all in. So we just pour it in like this. So as you can see by the texture, it's not too mushy, but it still has some texture to it. Now, just reduce the heat a little. So we're going to add the meat back in, like so. Just mixing around. So as you can see, it's really thick, the consistency. So what we're going to do, we're just going to add 1 more cup of water so we can just make it a bit more loose, not too thick. So we pour it in like so. But at the same time, we don't want it too watery. So you still want it to have that sticky kind of consistency. Not sticky, but a bit thick, not watery. So we'll add the remaining water. So now we're going to add our spices in and our seasoning. So you can put the powder in, garlic powder, like so. Mix it in. You add the dill in. Add all of it in. And then we also add the seasoning. You break them up and squeeze them in. Like so. Then we're just going to mix it in. We don't need to add salt because the seasoning has the salt already. So if we add salt on top of this, it will just make it more salty, and we don't want that. Like that. You can already smell the garlic and the okra and the dill and the meat and the onions all coming together. It smells delicious. So now we're going to leave that to cook for a further 10 to 15 minutes so that all the seasoning will blend well together. So we just cover that up. So let's check up on it. So you can see, and you can even smell it, it smells divine. You can smell all the flavors, the garlic especially. If you're a garlic lover like myself, you will smell it. Mixed in with the onions, mixed in with the okra, the seasoning. It smells good. So it should be ready by now. You can see by the consistency, the texture of it as well. So this should be ready by now. So we just switch off the heat and plate it up. So here is a plate. I've plated up with some kisra already. So we'll move this and then we can plate it up. And there you have it. Should be ready now. So there you have it, Bamia Mafrouk. I hope those of you out there will try it, try the recipe. Either you love it, either you hate it, or you think there's a few amendments and tweaks, let us know. Leave a comment on our YouTube channel page. Also, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, tell a friend to watch our channel. So until next time, bye.